Once there was a rich young widow who lived in the countryside with her brothers and sisters. Their house was quite isolated from the village, but the widow was grateful to be with her relatives because her baby was frail and sickly. Now, a scoundrel living in the village knew that this widow was rich. Each time he passed a lonely countryside house, he thought of her riches and planned ways to rob her. Soon the summer came and the young widow's brothers and sisters left for the rice fields each morning. The widow remained home alone with her sickly baby. When the scoundrel learned that the widow was alone, he shaved his head and stole a saffron yellow robe from the monastery. Then he dressed himself like a Buddhist monk and walked down the country road to the widow's secluded house. When he reached the front of the house, he stopped and stood quietly. The young widow was sitting there with her baby. She saw the yellow-robed standing patiently and thought he was a Buddhist monk. In reverence, she carried her baby to him and said, "Venerable sir, from which temple do you come? What do you wish?" The scoundrel spoke to her imitating the mannered speech of monks. "Madam, I hark from the temple yonder to gather incense and candles for my meditation ceremony. Dear madam, how many people abide with and where may they now be?" The widow answered, "Venerable sir, my 7 brothers and sisters live with me, but they left for the rice fields early this morning." "Dear madam, why did you not go with them?" The widow replied, "Reverend, I did not go with them because my baby is always sick. He cries all day, all the time." And the scoundrel questioned her again, "Madam, what kind of sickness does your baby have?" The widow answered, "Venerable sir, I do not know, but sometimes my baby feels very cold. Then sometimes he feels very hot. He cries so much that sometimes I think he will die." The scoundrel sighed, "Oh, poor baby! I love this baby very much. How I love this beautiful baby. Why have you not taken him to the doctor?" "Reverend sir, I took my baby to many doctors, but none of them could cure him." Then the impostor boasted, "Ah, I know all about this disease. I used to cure such diseases a long time ago and I can do so again. Do not worry anymore." The young widow begged, "Oh, reverend sir, do help us, for I am alone and I have no husband." Then the scoundrel told the widow to prepare a Slatherbise altar with incense, candles, and bananas. When the widow had arranged everything, She invited the scoundrel to sit inside her house, and she quietly paid reverence to him near the ceremonial prayer altar. After a while, the scoundrel asked her if she had a mill for grinding rice at Tbal Kdong nearby. "Yes, reverend sir, there is one behind the house." Then the scoundrel said, "I suggest that you take your baby to the Tbal Kdong and set him in the large bowl under the grinder. I tell you to do this because a ghost is always with your baby, filling him with a great sickness. When you set your baby under the grinder of the Tbal Kdong, the ghost will be afraid of being smashed and will run away." The widow obeyed and took her baby to the Tbal Kdong and set him in the large bowl under the grinder. "Now," said the scoundrel, "jump up on the lever." Again the widow obeyed. She got up onto the lever. When the lever went down, the grinder rose up. "Good," the scoundrel nodded. "Stay like that for a little while. I will go into the house and bring the incense and candles outside here for our prayer ceremony." And so the scoundrel went into the house and stole the young widow's jewels and diamonds and money. Then he ran away. The widow could not do anything. She could not run after the scoundrel because if she jumped off the lever of the Tbal Kdong, the grinder would come down and her baby would be crushed. It was no use calling for help because no one was at home and there were no neighbors nearby. So she stood on the lever of the Tbal Kdong for the whole day, and the scoundrel ran safely away with her riches.
Just as most people did thousands of years ago, the ancient peoples of Southeast Asia worshipped the spirits of animals, trees, and stones, and they believed in the powers of magic. Throughout the centuries, these beliefs were passed on from generation to generation. Even when the Cambodian people embraced the more sophisticated philosophies of Buddhism, many of them still continued to believe in their ancient magic rituals. Theravada Buddhist monks were always trying to free the people from their dependence on such superstition. In this modern story, the unfortunate young woman suffered because, instead of reasoning wisely, she stupidly believed in magical ceremonies.